Hello and welcome to the University of Law. In today's video I am going to be unboxing and reviewing this Doctor Who Dark Gallifrey, Morbius Part 2 by Tim Foley. So I reviewed Part 1 recently. I really enjoyed Part 2 and obviously I'll give you my thoughts as and when I'm unboxing it. Now obviously we're in a new month, so this did come with a new issue of Vortex, the May issue. Is wonderful artwork of the Seventh Doctor's Last Day Part 2. We've got a few more characters. I don't remember actually. I know it's Roz and Chris. I don't remember them being on the last cover art or even being in it, so I think that'd be interesting. So certainly bringing more of the lore. We've got Gallifrey, it looks like here. So really enjoyed the first one. I'm sure you can catch my review on the channel, and Part 2 I'm looking forward to as well. If I come and have a little look through the little piece on the War Doctor Rises, the new War Doctor series. I've done a few videos on that on the channel. There's a nice piece here on the Seventh Doctor story. Of course, this issue can be found for free digitally on the Big Finish website. It's a PDF. Or you get it free as a physical copy every time you order a CD. This is the new Fourth Doctor set. We've got the Toy Maker back, so that's wonderful cover art here. We have got, I think the trailer just dropped as of the day of recording this, actually. That's really cool. We've got, obviously, Harry and Naomi. We've got the Master. Great to see the Geoffrey Beevers Master back with the Fourth Doctor after it's been a long time. Let's keep going. Let's see what else is in here. Here they are, head to head, face to face. Geoffrey Beevers and Tom Baker. Blake 7, if you're interested in Blake 7. They've got articles on that, they do audios on that. Torchwood. And the release schedule. Was there an email section in here this issue? I'm trying to remember now. Oh, here we go, Vortex Mail. Yeah, talking about possibly having Rose back with the Night Doctor, but obviously they're scheduling, and they're trying to get all of that together. It is a big task. And then this looks like it's going to be one-off. John Sims' appearance in Masterful was a one-off, but you know, hopefully maybe one day we might get some Alex McQueen is basically the gist of that letter. So there is Vortex, well worth a listen. It's where I get most of my information from. Right. Let's get this unboxed. Now, I've mentioned this recently, actually, haven't I, about how there used to be this little strip on the old CDs, and they brought it back because it's so much easier, he says, to open them when you have the little strip. And now I've got the strip, I simply tear it off like that, and you simply slip the bottom off. There we go. Brings back memories. And then you slip the top cellophane off. There we go. And now we have Morbius Part 2. Let's get it open. So we have got cover art. Sam West, he's in it a bit more, this one, is Morbius. Obviously our other cast of characters as well. We've got our credits on the back. Pictures. Just a warning, there will be spoilers in this review. So let's start with my initial reception of the story. So for those of you who watched my last review, I had to listen to the first one several times because, it's not a complaint, I simply wasn't prepared tonally for what to expect. I think usually with a Big Finish, there's a range, you kind of know what the tone and what the feel of that range is, and you kind of dive straight in, knowing that this is a more light-hearted series, or this is a darker series, and you kind of have that. With this, because it's completely new and it's a whole new era, it took me a few lessons before I got, no, this is what they're going for, and then I was able to mentally adjust and get my head around that for my listen, and it was. By the third listen, it was really rewarding. I really got what this story was, and when on reflection, it felt very much like the mood of the Time of Victoria's comic strip set during the same sort of time frame. So, yeah, it took me a while to get my head around that, but with this, I dived straight in because I put it on, on the app, and I knew straight away what the feel was meant to be, and it did pick up straight away. I think, obviously, you really can't listen to it, really, I don't feel, without listening to the first one. So if you are going to drop in, you can't just pick it up. Make sure you listen to episode 1 first. It carried the story on. There was some really real depth to the characters. I know Tim Foley said that because he wanted to keep Morbius sort of at bay for a bit, you needed to have a strong set of characters for the audience to connect with. And as I said, with the first episode, it took me a couple of listens to really connect. But with this one, I think I was fully invested. I'd had that chance, and I think this is one of the beauties actually of releasing them over several months, because when you listen to it all at once, you might have just binged it all in one go and thought, that wasn't for me. But the fact that I had to keep listening to the first one to get my head around it was really rewarding, and it meant that I was really invested in the characters and the story for this episode. So we get more of Sam West as Morbius. We get more of the lore around Morbius and around his legacy and his return and his exile. So yeah, it's a really great episode, and of course there's a tease at the end that he has escaped, he's on his way, he's marching to victory. I get the impression this is set in the past, so this is how he originally returned. Having said that, there was a few bits in them which made me think that this was later, but I'm sure it's meant to be, because there's a bit about where he was in this, there's this museum dedicated with a hologram, and apparently it's been there for thousands of years, but I think it's just because they were outside of time at that point. But then I thought, maybe have they jumped ahead to a point later on, and it's post Brain of Morbius? I'm not sure, maybe it will be clarified. I think certainly the clarification will come because they think Rassilon has come to help them at the end. There's someone materialising. I think it's going to be the Fourth Doctor. I think that's the twist. I was surprised he didn't have the final line of the episode as a kind of tease for the next story, but I think it is the Fourth Doctor, and then I think that will clarify where in the timeline this takes place. The characters certainly come from ancient Gallifrey, and they're on their way home, but they don't know how long it's been. They've been lost in time, especially for a long time. Maybe they have come back into a kind of post Brendan Morbius universe, and it's the Fourth Doctor, and it's centuries later. There was a bit of a reference to another Gallifrey, and I think it was maybe a hint at the Timeless Child, maybe, but that was interesting. The biggest exciting thing I got in this though was the fact that one of the characters, I think it's one of the main characters who has kind of been wrestling with her relationship with her family for the last 2 episodes, and her place in Gallifrey. She's a character who has recently only just regained being a Time Lord, having lost her Time Lord status. I think she's kind of something's happened to this character, and we find that their legacy is that their descendant will be the 11. And we get a cameo from the 11, which is really exciting, and obviously to me that's the first little tease of something bigger for this Dark Universe, because we know that the 11's going to be in Dark Gallifrey in a later story, in a later arc. So I'm imagining that this is going to kind of pay back somewhere. And as I said, the fact that we've started off in the very roots of Gallifrey with Rassilon, who I'm confident we'll get a series later, and I was looking at the origins of the 11, maybe the origins of the Master and the Doctor as we kind of go through. I think all of these Time Lords, all these road Time Lords, are going to have this kind of this bigger picture, linking them all together, taking this rich tapestry of Doctor Who's lore and really weaving in these deeper connections to these characters that we all know and love. So, yeah, really enjoyed part 2, and it's really shaping up to be a really promising, epic story. So, thank you, Big Finish. Let's keep up the good work. What did you think of Dark Gallifrey Morbius Part 2? What do you think of Part 1? What are your predictions for the final part, and of course moving forward to the arc as a whole? Have you got any thoughts, even though we're very, very, very early on in the range? Do let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I look forward to speaking to you soon.